Welcome to video 7 of 19, speaking about the 62 steps in creating and crafting the Signature Series pen. We move on to the 600 grit. And there's really three things that go on with each of these phases of sanding. Number one, I'm sanding to get it down to the contours, dimensions, making sure that the bushings in the wood are meeting up properly so that when I do the final fitting and assembly that the fittings are exactly the right dimension for the wood that's going to be meeting with them. I'm also doing pore filling and void filling. So this occurs with wormholes, it occurs with knots. And the final thing that I'm doing is conditioning the wood as I move more and more into the finer grits. I'm using a 1 pound shellac as I have been in the previous videos. It allows for the adhesion, the natural adhesion of the sawdust back into the lowest spots in the barrel. And so all these different things are happening all at the same time. This process has been derived from an ancient process of French polishing. Now, it doesn't look like French polishing, but the essence of it really is, where French polish was using a pumice because they didn't have sandpaper. So they used a rough stone, a very fine grit stone, and they used a shellac type material to rub in circles. You always see that in the furniture videos where they're doing French polishing, a circular motion, because you can't put a tabletop on a lathe. If you translate the movement of the lathe and you translate the pumice and the shellac to the sandpaper and to the 1 pound cut shellac that I've been using, it's accomplishing the same thing by sanding, smoothing the surface, and at the same time filling the pores of the wood. And so we've progressed from a 200 to a 300 to a 400 and now finally to a 600 grit in all of these stages that continue to fine tune and polish the wood as we're smoothing it and filling the grains, filling the pores, filling the voids. You see me here now working again with the lathe off and sanding with the 600 with the grain. Again, making sure that there's any scratches that have occurred in the process in the last two grits are coming out and taking off any of the fine scratches that might have been put into the wood. Leaving the sand sawdust on, and now again just the absolutely categorically brilliant grain pattern coming through. If you missed the first couple of videos, I talked about the Chechen. This is a Chechen wood from Belize, southeast Mexico region of the world. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous hardwood. Some say it is very difficult to work with, and large planks they talk about having to drill a hole in it before you try to put a nail or a screw through it. It's so hard. I love working with the hardwoods because of the surface of a hardwood. It is very, very difficult to dent it. So if you drop your pen, you're not going to get a dent in this kind of a hardwood. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Now, because this is 1 pound, this is going to evaporate very quickly. But again, it's being absorbed into the wood to begin the conditioning process of the wood, which we'll pick up in the next two videos. So again, reminding you that I am here to bring wood back and remind people of their innate brilliance. Hope you're enjoying the journey.